Hello beautiful people who clicked on this video. I'm Akashi's shoelaces. Don't think about it too hard. Finally a video of my favorite shit. I hope you all enjoy watching this as much as I did writing it. Just a warning that this does take place after the time skip, so there are minor spoilers for that. If you don't want to hear those then please don't watch this video. As always credit to any art, music, or video clips I used can always be found in the description below. Enjoy. Osamu anxiously tapped the side of his seat, glancing at his phone every few seconds, wondering if he should call Rin. It had been over a month now since they'd seen each other, both having been swept up with volleyball and trying to open a restaurant. Despite having to resort to FaceTiming every night, their love for each other had not faded in the slightest, and it had only ended in both being incredibly touch-starved and irritable. So, Osamu had made the executive decision to go and visit him as a surprise during the weekend when he had training off. However, he was now rethinking his life decisions as he awkwardly pressed himself as close to the side of the train as possible while a girl who couldn't be older than 16 batted her eyelashes at him and kept slowly inching herself into his personal space. Are you MWAH Atsumo's twin? Of course. Never heard of him. This usually got people to leave him alone, but the girl just furrowed her brows and tapped something into her phone, pulling up an image of his brother smiling obnoxiously. Are you sure? You look just like him. Osamu gave her his most condescending and annoyed expression in a final attempt to make her leave him alone. Thankfully this seemed to do the trick and she rolled her eyes and went back to furiously tapping something into her phone. During the next few minutes of awkward silence his mind wandered back to his boyfriend. That quickly spiraled into thoughts of how Rin might be upset that he didn't call in advance. He never had been a big fan of surprises, or how he was probably exhausted from practicing all week and just wanted to sleep alone. A moment later the girl turned and opened her mouth again. That mixed with his anxiety prompts him to pick up his phone and call Suna's number without thinking. The other picked up the phone after a few rings and Osamu instantly felt relief flood through him just at the prospect of hearing his boyfriend. Rin, babe. Instead of hearing Rin's soft tired hey, he was greeted by another familiar voice, but one that was 1,000 times more annoying. Samu? He immediately recoils from the phone. You're still coming to meet Suna in tonight, right? Why the hell do you have his phone, Tsumu? My phone died and Suna was never gonna tell me his password and we went out alone and we don't have a ride home and I couldn't call anyone so I had to wait for someone to call him. The fuck? Couldn't you just get Rin to call someone? Well Suna is. What? Well you see we went out for drinks just to catch up and. Tsumu I swear to fucking. Hey don't yell at me. He'll be fine, just try to hurry. It's weird seeing him like this. I can't make the damn train go faster. There are muffled sounds on the other end for a moment and what sounds like someone crying before Atsumu answers him again. Yeah okay, just meet us at that kinda shady bar that we went to a few times a few blocks away from Bo's house. Alright. Okay. I'll get there as soon as possible. He hung up quickly and realized the girl next to him had been listening and was gaping at him. You are his. Osamu sent her a death glare and she shut her mouth, looking at him with wide eyes and badly attempting to sneak a picture of him. 15 agonizing minutes later, he sprinted off the bus, muttering a hurried apology as he practically leaped over the girl next to him who had kicked her feet up over the seat in front of them. His shoes pounding on the pavement as he attempted to dodge people on the relatively crowded street. He mentally cursed his brother for his poor planning and whatever he had let happen to Rin. Without realizing it he had arrived in front of the bar. Breathing heavily, He opened the door and out of the corner of his eye noticed a head of obnoxiously yellow hair bolt up. It's about time. Osamu ignored him and darted over to the figure slumped onto the table, who Atsumu was hovering over and awkwardly patting his back. Rin, babe. He's using what Atsumu likes to call, that damn Suna-in voice, where he gets all soft but honestly he couldn't care less right now. The other boy groans and shifts in his seat and Osamu shakes his shoulder gently. Suna looks up at him with unfocused eyes, and it's clear that he's been crying. Osamu shoves Atsumu aside, which is met with a shout of indignation from the other, but ignores him and slides into the seat next to his boyfriend, pulling him into his arms. Atsumu. Don't be like that. He's supposed to be the responsible one here, it's not my fault. The hostile reply dies on his tongue when he feels Suna shift in his arms. He looks down and the other boy is looking up at him with his eyes as big as saucers, lips parted slightly. You're so pretty. Osamu is at first shocked by the genuine earnestness in the other's voice, but flushes bright red after processing what he'd just said. Bahahaha Samu, you've been dating for 4 years and he's still got your wit. The darker-haired twin flips him off and focuses back on his boyfriend, cupping his face with his hands. Rin. You're drunk. We're going home. He's taken aback when instead of groaning and submitting to letting Osamu practically carry him home, he snivels and tears start to form in the corners of his eyes. Osamu feels himself launch into protective boyfriend mode almost immediately. Suna had cried in front of other people during the 7 years he had known him, a total of 2 times. The first being when they had lost at nationals during their 3rd and final year, and the second when he thought Osamu was going to break up with him because they were going separate ways. What's wrong? Are you okay? Suna's response is muffled by tears as he buries his head into Osamu's chest. I don't want to go home. Osamu hummed and stroked his hair. Why not, baby? Ugh. The only good thing waiting for me at home is waiting for Samu to call me. He stiffens and rests his chin in the taller's hair, rubbing circles on his back. You know, I could take a while longer off. Stay with you here for a few weeks? Suna grunts and pushes away from him, tears no longer streaming down his face. No, only Osamu is allowed to stay at my place. Osamu turns and gives Atsumu an exasperated look as Suna flops back onto his chest. You let him get so drunk he doesn't even recognize me? Hey. My friend comes to me sad and wants to get wasted. Who am I to stop him? Suna groans from his place draped over Osamu's shoulder. Be quiet, you annoying bee. There's silence for a solid 30 seconds before Osamu bursts out laughing. Even when he's almost blackout drunk. You're all so mean. I'm going back to me and Omi's apartment where I'm actually appreciated. Osamu was doubled over laughing and didn't notice Atsumu inching towards the door until a few moments later when he recognized Bakuto's car parked outside the bar. Hold on, didn't you say you guys didn't have a ride home? Atsumu froze, seemed to contemplate turning around before shuffling towards the door faster. Atsumu, if this was a setup. The other man paused and sighed, turning to face his brother. Listen, Suna-in has been really down recently, and I know it's because he misses your annoying ass. He's shit at expressing his emotions and I knew he would have just kept it bottled up when you came over because he wants the best for you. And I know he's wary of alcohol around you because he's the most emotional drunk I've ever met, and he was the one who suggested going out, so I just formed a plan from there. Osamu sighed and pinched the bridge of his nose, being careful as to not wake the lanky form that seemed to have passed out on him. Well, I suppose the intention was good. Atsumu mutters, that's all the thanks I get? Before Osamu looks up at him with a small genuine smile. Thanks Tsumu. We'll work something out here. You may be annoying as shit sometimes but you're a good person. You know what? I'll take it. Make sure not to break each other's hearts. Now I have an Omi I want to cuddle with. Have fun. Osamu have to laugh and began to run his hands through his boyfriend's hair again, preparing to haul him back to his apartment. Hold on, did that little shit take off with Bakuto without me and Rin?